Hello and welcome to Love from the Other Side, where we bring you near-death experiences of people from around the world. While you may not agree with everything that they share, we ask that all comments be kept respectful and kind. With that being said, let's get right into today's video. I had a profound transformative experience when I was 19. I had been very sick, and after a complicated abdominal surgery, was septic and in a coma. I entered the void, as some call it. For me, and this was just my experience, it was the deepest, warmest, comfortable blanket. I felt peace. It was like sleep you get in front of a roaring fireplace after a day where you tested your muscles and expanded your energy out in the cold. I remember hearing the sound of my heartbeat somewhere in my mind, jackhammering, my blood pressure dropped, in a rhythm that I knew wasn't right, but I wasn't worried about this. I was more annoyed that it was taking me away from that warm sleep. The rest of my experience was very jumbled in coming back to me. I think in part due to the high levels of morphine and other pain medications. I didn't come out of the coma for a week. In that time, I do remember being out of my body and seeing around the ICU room as people worked. I listened in as the doctor spoke about my deteriorating condition. I had no fear of any of this, but a curiosity to get out and explore. I could look at a person and somehow know their worries, their hopes, and their joys. I could mentally ask a question and the answer came to mind. It was in that state, wanting to know more, that I was taken on what I would call an education through space and time. It was as if all the knowledge of the universe suddenly downloaded into my brain, and everything made sense. I had moments of, oh, of course, why didn't I see that? And I can't wait till they find that. It was incredible. I could think of a time in history and I was there. As all of this was happening, I slowly became more aware of the guide that was initially just a voice in my head. I could feel his presence, and yet he didn't have a body, just a form of light, as if all the spectrums of colors were superimposed into one form, but more brilliant than words could describe. And in that light, millions of other lights upon trillions of other lights together, making up the form in front of me. It was somehow both male and female, father, brother, sister, mother, all in one. The warmth, love, and humor emanating from that light is also beyond description. It was also endless patience, endless compassion, like there wasn't anything I could ask or do or say that it, he, she would not love me. I suddenly found us in a field so beautiful, so full of flowers, trees, orchards, and life. The colors of this place were more brilliant than anything here. The smell, the sounds, it was vast and green, and hills as far as I could see. Yet I know there was more. There was home. The light stayed with me on a hill overlooking all this beauty, and gently, so gently, asked me about my mother. It was revealed to me, almost like a memory, how my passing would affect the trajectory of her life, how we had made a mission to come here together, and that somehow, by coming back early, would affect things for both of us. I never really understood that part until reading about others who have also spoken of this choice or plan to come here. The soul's evolution and contract theory. It was like he gave me a view of the future, and I remembered my original purpose and my plan, all that I was supposed to do, all that I had wanted to do. He asked me if I could be strong enough to go back because my mother needed me, and I needed her. He acknowledged that there would be pain and tragedy and loss if I did so. She would also someday leave me, among other things, but that I would also be blessed in turn. I would grow and evolve and know love. I would give and cultivate love. He looked at me with all the colors of heaven and said, "Can you do that for me? Can you go and show them love? Show them how much I love them?" And as much as I wanted to say yes, to this day I am like, what was I thinking? I said yes. I said it for him and for her. My mom didn't have an easy childhood at all. an abusive husband who left her hundreds of miles away from any family, 2 young kids. When I got sick at 15, there wasn't an appointment she didn't go to. There wasn't a procedure that she missed. Often there wasn't anything she could do but be there. The day of the start of my coma, she refused to let them send her home from ICU. She's deeply religious and was praying by my bedside the whole time. I could feel all of this in the light. Upon my return, shall we call it, I was a total mess. Dying for me was easy. Coming back from that, clawing back from that was the single hardest thing I have ever done. I couldn't handle the trauma done to my body or my mind. I truly do believe that we all come here with a veil, call it a veil of knowledge if you will, that allows you to exist here without the knowledge of what came before, so that you can live a true human experience. I think the veil is a good thing in a way. I came back with the veil partially opened. This had 2 effects on me. One was that it was kicked up in all kinds of extrasensory experiences that I wasn't ready for. I was not prepared for the connection and abilities. I mentally shut it off. I had to. I felt no recrimination from that action, only acceptance and knowledge that they would be here when I was ready. I wasn't ready for a long time. I had fully given up trying to heal and get better. This was noted in particular by one nurse. She said something along the lines of, "You're so young. Don't you want to get better and get out of here?" I gave her a non-committal answer, to which she replied, "What about your mother? She's been here all day and all night, never left your side. What about her if something happens to you?" And it literally zapped me back to that hillside. I was back in that moment, remembering my promise to the light, remembering the promise to my mother and the knowledge. That was 19 years ago. I've now lived as long after my experience than I had before it. It took me 2 years to physically recover from all of that, but spiritually and mentally has been far longer. It's hard to know that something so beautiful exists, that home is just around the corner, and yet to be here. I feel isolated by my experiences, unable to explain or feel understood by those who have not also walked the path. I can't explain to someone dealing with the heavy grief of loss that deep in my heart I feel a pang. That person they are grieving is now home and whole in that incredible love and light. Pieces of us are here to love and grow, but we all go home to be reunited in the end. I didn't make it to the grand palace with the doors, or see the wise ones, but the knowledge of that was given to me by the light. I know how beautiful it is where they are, and my heart wishes for that. My heart wishes for home to be reunited again. One day, when I'm called again, I will feel nothing but joy and possibly relief at having served in the light. It's hard to be here, my friends, for a multiple of reasons, but we are strong enough to be here, to learn and to love and to grow. We are here to help others learn, love, and grow. And then someday, may we all run happy in the flowers and fields together. What a beautiful sentiment that she closed her experience with. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I would like to humbly invite you to be the newest subscriber to Love from the Other Side. Until next time, God bless.